Hey, there, you ever have one of those days where you just wish you could take the ultimate shortcut? I mean, what if you could just dig a hole straight through the entire planet? Well, today we're going to dive headfirst into that awesome, kind of crazy question.
So let's really think about this. Say you could somehow create a tunnel from, I don't know, the North Pole clear through to the South Pole. If you just took a deep breath and jumped in, would you pop out on the other side ready for a stroll? The short answer? It's not even close. Okay, so first let's just imagine the absolute perfect scenario. We're talking about a tunnel that's a perfect vacuum. So no air, no friction, and let's just say by magic, no heat. This is pure theoretical physics. What would actually happen?
Well, the engine for this whole wild ride is gravity. The second you jump, Earth's pull grabs you and starts dragging you toward the core. And you're not just falling, you are accelerating, picking up more and more speed with every single second that passes.
And the speed you'd reach is it's mind-blowing. By the time you hit the absolute center of the Earth, you'd be rocketing along at about 29,000 kilometers per hour. To give you some perspective, that's nearly 35 times faster than a commercial jet. Insane, right?
So after you hit that incredible top speed, your momentum would be so huge it would carry you right past the center and up toward the other side. But as you climb, gravity starts pulling you back, slowing you down, until you pop out at the surface with your speed at exactly zero. But here's the kicker. If someone isn't right there to grab you that exact moment, you just fall right back in. You'd be stuck oscillating back and forth forever, like a human yo-yo.
Okay, that whole yo-yo thing is a pretty cool physics trip. But now it's time for a reality check. And our first dose of reality, well, it's a scorcher. And I mean, this heat is way more intense than you probably think. Here's a wild fact for you. The Earth's core is sitting at around 6,000 degrees Celsius. That is actually hotter than the surface of the sun. So forget a quick trip. You wouldn't even make it close to the middle before you were, well, roasted into a crispy barbecue. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Game over. Right there. The heat alone makes this whole journey totally impossible. That's what we call deal breaker number one.
But all right, let's keep going. For the sake of the thought experiment, let's say you've got some kind of magical, indestructible, heat-proof suit. You're still not going to make it because there's another huge problem. All the air that would be inside our tunnel. You see, in the real world, you're not falling in a vacuum. You're pushing against a massive column of air molecules. This air resistance creates drag, and that drag fights against gravity. Eventually, it puts a speed limit on your fall. It's something called terminal velocity. And the result of that speed limit? It means you would never, ever reach that insane 29,000 kilometer per hour speed we talked about. And without that crazy momentum, you just don't have enough juice to coast all the way to the other side. You'd fall, slow down, and then you'd just get stuck, floating, right there in the dead center of the Earth. So we've seen the physics dream, and we've seen the very, very harsh realities. It's time to put it all together for the final verdict. So, should you be planning this little transplanetary commute anytime soon? Let's just quickly recap the science that's screaming no. First, you've got that ridiculous heat, hotter than the sun, that would vaporize you. And we didn't even mention the crushing pressure or the, total lack of oxygen. Plus, even if you could survive all that, the air resistance would just stop your journey cold right in the middle. Which brings us to a much, much better idea for getting to the other side of the planet. Just book a flight. It's a whole lot simpler and, survivable. And really, this quote just sums it all up perfectly, doesn't it? The whole idea of taking a shortcut through the Earth isn't a real travel plan. It's just a fantastic joke for physics. But that leaves us with one final thought. Knowing everything we just talked about, the insane heat, the physics, the fact that you'd almost certainly get stuck, if a perfectly safe, magical tunnel really did exist, would you still take the leap?